Yo, what's going on everyone? In this video, I'm going to be walking you guys through the entire Citadel Easter egg. Now you can do this either as a solo player or with a team, and the steps will be the same. Now go ahead and jump into the Citadel. The first step is going to be to open up the Pack-a-Punch machine, which has a few steps. The first thing you will do is get a few points together and head towards the cannon, which will be a few doors away. Now I suggest going up the right side, as you will need this door open later, but either door works because you're going to end up opening all the doors on the map either way. Now work your way up the castle, and eventually there's going to be this door off here to the right. You will want to head up here where you can access the cannon, where you will have to spin it around and then use it to open up the next portion of the map. Now once you guys have done this, you will be able to access the next portion of the map. So we're going to head over here and we're going to open up this next door here to the left. Now at this point, you're going to begin working up points, but you can get Juggernaut and the 2-plate armor if you want it. Now what you'll do is just simply gain some points. You're going to let a few rounds pass so you can stand wherever you want and gain up some points, but you'll go through that left door. There's going to be a few more doors you have to purchase in this direction, and then you will have access to the Pack-a-Punch machine. So you just simply have to get some points together, head into this room where you will then be greeted with this crate. You're going to shoot these 3 locks and a small boss fight will begin. And once you take out this boss, it will drop a crystal, which you will then have to return to the crate to open up the Pack-a-Punch. So as soon as the boss goes down, there will be a crystal. Use this crystal to activate the Pack-a-Punch. Now from here, you will be able to open the next couple of doors, but you will have to wait until round 10 in order to do the next few steps. So what you'll do is you'll work your way through the next 2 doors, and you will be inside of a room that has a chair in the center and a few metal statues. Now at this point, you're going to have to get to round 10, and at this point, you will see these zombies with metal heads begin to spawn in. Now once you take them down, they will drop stamps, and what you'll do is you'll take these stamps back to the center room. So we just got one as a drop, and I'm going to head back there now and show you how to use these. Now in the center room, there's going to be 4 different statues of knights, and each knight will have a different symbol on its chest. Now this will correlate to which sword you have, so be sure to keep track of which ones you use. Here's going to be the lion or light sword, so you can go ahead and put the crystal in there or the stamp. Now, depending on how many stamps you get, you want to do this as quickly as you can so that you can get it all done within the same round. So because I had 2 stamps, I'm going to go back, pick up that second stamp, and then I'll submit it to the knight as well. Now I'll show you guys the order that I did it in. You can do these in any order you like, but if you want to follow the guide, I suggest doing it in the same order as me. So right now we have the lion or light sword in our hands, and we're going to go back to the center room with the stamp, and we're going to activate the fire knight as well. Now you can pick up these swords whenever you want and drop them whenever you want, so you can swap them around, but this is going to be the fire knight, as you can tell by the dragon on his chest. Now because we still have this lion sword, what we'll do next is we're going to go and start up the process of upgrading the sword. Now in order to upgrade this sword, because each sword is going to have a separate process, this sword requires you to take down parasites in a certain area. So what we'll do is we'll head back out this direction, and you have to take the sword to a special door here on the left side. Now in order to unlock this door, what you have to do is take down a parasite with the sword. Make sure the parasites are glowing. Once you take them down, it will make your sword glow as well, as you'll see here in just a second. And once your sword is glowing, what you have to do is go and hit the door with your glowing sword. Right there, we took down our first parasite. You can see my sword begin to glow. And what we'll do is we'll come over here to this alleyway, and there's going to be a small door which we can begin the puzzle on. So if we hit it with this glowing sword, we will get a symbol to appear on it. And you have to do this 4 times until the door will unlock. So just take down 4 different parasites and simply bring that glowing sword back each time until the door is ready to unlock. So once you have all 4 symbols on the door, you can go and unlock it, and you will have to do a small puzzle once inside. Now the faster you do this puzzle, the less zombies you'll have to deal with. But what you'll do is you'll come in here and you want to take a look at this totem pole. And on the totem itself, there's going to be different symbols. So right here, when you come inside, you want to look at this totem here. There's going to be different symbols, and in the order they pop up in, you will want to shoot them in order to upgrade this sword. So for me, this is the order I got, but it's going to be different for you and every time that you come in here. But just make sure you shoot them in the proper order. The faster you do it, then the less zombies you'll have to deal with. So you want to try and do it pretty quickly and you won't have to deal with any at all. Now, once you're done with this, just simply pick up the sword and we're going to have the first one upgraded and we'll move on to the next one. Take this sword back to the knights and you're going to swap it out with one of the other non-upgraded ones. Now at this point, if you get any stamps along the way, be sure to pick them up so you can submit them to the other knights. Now next up, we're going to be doing the lightning sword, or the one that has the stag on it. So if we come in here, we can drop this light sword off and we can use this to pick up the one with the stag. So just going to come in here, drop this off where we got it at the lion, and we'll come back across here. If you have a stamp, you can go and unlock one of these other knights. So what you'll do is you'll start with getting the fire sword and you'll bring it back to the dragon statue, and this will start this quest to upgrade the sword. So once you have done this, all you'll have to do is bring the fire sword to the statue. Now once the fire sword has been submitted to the statue, there's going to be 3 cauldrons you have to go to. Once you guys have gotten to these statues or these cauldrons that have a fire or a flame in them, you can activate this and bring it back to the dragon. Now, one thing to keep in mind though is when you pick up this flame, you are going to take damage. The only way to heal from this is by meleeing the zombies around you. So right here is going to be the location of the first cauldron. You just want to make sure you pick up this flame and then bring it all the way back to the dragon as fast as you can. Now, after this, there's going to be 2 more cauldrons. One's going to be up on the castle wall, and the third one's going to be located really far back in the spawn. Now, once you do this, guys, you're going to have an upgraded sword for the rest of the game. It's going to have way crazier attacks. It's going to have ranged attacks. And some of the damage will even spread to other zombies around you. Now, I use this clip that what I had when I did it in a squad game, but the steps are going to be the same whether it's solo or not. So that will be the first cauldron. The only thing to keep in mind, though, is that you will drastically lose health while in this state. And the only way to gain health is by meleeing the zombies around you. So if you see your health going low, especially on some of these cauldrons which are further away, you will need to melee zombies to regen health. Now the first one was located down there by the spawn. The second one's going to be up here on the castle wall, which is extremely easy to complete. And then the third one is also going to be down in the spawn, but this time it's going to be even closer to the statue. So I'm going to very quickly show you guys that location. So you can wrap this up and get onto the third cauldron. And after that, we're going to go back and upgrade the rest of these swords. So after that, that's going to be the second cauldron. You're going to work your way back down to the spawn, this time by the statue, and you're going to lock in the last cauldron. Now that you've done the fire sword, we're going to move on to the lightning sword. This time, you just drop off the fire sword at the statue. We're going to go back to the solo game, and we're going to come here and get the lightning sword. So this one's going to be located right here in this corner. We're going to open this up next. We can grab this sword. Now for this one, you will need to have the electric perk on your weapon. So be sure to upgrade your weapon and put the electric perk on it. Head down to this area, and if you can save a zombie, you can get 2 or 3 of the swords done right here during this round. So what we'll do here is we'll get this electric perk on our weapon. We're going to come over here to the left, and we're going to need to get 3 lightning rods in order to upgrade this lightning sword next. Now, in order to get these 3 lightning rods, the first one will be right here. You can get this anytime you like, and you just have to shoot this electrical panel with that electric perk. The next one you can get by coming over here to the opposite side. It's just going to be on the ground. You don't have to do anything special for it. Now the third lightning rod you will get in the quick revive room. Now if you save a zombie, you can go down right away and get the lightning rod, and a special zombie will pop up and spawn every time you go into the quick revive room, and you can take him out to get the final lightning rod. So very quickly we've made our way to the quick revive room. We can take out the zombie, the one in the cage that doesn't actually do anything. That zombie is just always in there randomly. But what you want to be on the lookout for is a zombie that will spawn closer to the quick revive machine, and he will have the lightning rod right inside of his body. Now, as you can see here, it drops, and we're still in the same round. So it was actually a vermin round. It will spawn anytime you go in there, and you can just get that to drop. And once you have all 3 lightning rods, you're going to want to come back out to the castle. We're going to drop off these lightning rods in a special area and start up another small puzzle. Now, in order to complete this fight, what you have to do is get kills with the sword, and you have to stay here in this area for quite a while actually. Now every so often your sword will get charged with lightning, and as soon as it does, you want to come back here to this urn and hit it with the sword. This will discharge it, and you have to do this 3 times in order to complete this small puzzle. So it can be a bit tricky because this area is so small, and it's going to be mixed with special zombies and zombies that spawn during the round. So you may want to wait till the end of the round in order to start this, or it can get a bit overwhelming. But eventually you will see the sword light up, and as soon as it lights up, just bring it back to the urn or the pot, hit it with the sword, and do it 3 times to end this puzzle. Once you have done all 3, you will want to go back up to this and hold square in order to deposit the sword. It will then take the sword and upgrade it, and you can take it back out and use the upgraded sword. Now what we're going to do is go back to these knights again and drop this off. At this point, you're going to need to get another stamp, and we will drop this stamp onto the raven sword. Now this is the knight that has the raven on its shoulder. He's not going to have anything on its chest, but you will see a small bird on his shoulder. So go ahead and submit the stamp and then pick up the 3rd sword. We're going to go and do this puzzle. Now this puzzle is a bit tricky, and it's always changing. So as soon as you pick up this sword, you'll want to make your way into this room here, and you want to take a look at all of the different bookshelves. Now there's going to be a chance of it spawning on one of these 3, so you want to check all 3 of them until eventually you find the item that you're looking for. Now with this item, it has a chance of being 2 different things. It can either be a raven's claw or it can be a rock. Now before picking up the item, you want to take a very close look at it, because depending on the symbol that's on the rock will depend on the puzzle solution. Now I'm going to bring up a chart showing you guys the puzzle solution, but it's still good to know which one you have. So very quickly, we're just going to scan this room. Sometimes it can be harder to find, but you want to just take a look at all of the different bookshelves until eventually you do find a big rock or a crow's head. So as you can see, I'm still stumbling around looking for it because it's just sometimes it's harder to find than it needs to be. So you just have to keep checking all of these bookshelves. There's sometimes will spawn on this one or even this one here. And as you can see, I finally found it tucked away right here. Now, what you want to do is look at this. You'll see that there's a scorpion on this rock, and that actually does mean something. It's going to help us with the puzzle later. So take a look at that and make sure you take a look at whatever symbols on your rock. Now bring this back to the spawn area, and we're going to be able to use this to do the next puzzle. Now, depending on which item drops for you, you will have to use this small chart in order to get the answer to the next puzzle. So here's all the different options of drops which can spawn, and depending on which symbol's on your rock, you will have to match it up with this sign here. Now, once you guys have your combination, what you'll want to do is take a look at this image, and you want to match it up to the sign and also the element. Once you guys have the solution, you will want to bring this sword down to the spawn area and insert the sword into this secret puzzle. Now, because of the rock that I got, I'm going to get the Earth and the Gemini sign to match, and I'm going to go in here and just link them up. Now, when you link this puzzle up, it's going to be on the bottom section of the ring, so that's the only one you really have to worry about. So we'll take a look at our symbol here, and we can match it up with the puzzle key. And what we'll do is we'll spin this around until the Gemini and the proper triangle are matched up with the Earth sign there, and you can just lock that in. Once you do this, there's going to be a small puzzle which spawns, where you have to fill up these 3 different portals, which will be able to have these orbs generated inside them. So as soon as you enter in the code correctly, you will turn around and see that there is a portal that spawns in on the ground. Now from here, what you'll have to do is guide these lights into this portal, and you'll have to do this 3 separate times. So I'll show you guys how to do this in all 3 areas. Now, once you are done with this portion of the quest, you can go back down and interact with the sword, and it will be upgraded. Now, at this point, you should have all four swords upgraded, and we're going to bring this one back to the knight so that we can deposit it and get on to the next step. Now, once you guys have deposited the final sword, what you want to do is head to the spawn area into the bar, which is located at the spawn. Inside of this bar, you're going to see 6 different bottles. You have to activate each bottle, and each bottle will have a symbol on it. Now, if you're playing solo, I highly suggest just taking a screenshot of this. So that way you can just cross-reference it before entering in the code later. But I'm going to show you guys all 6 of the bottle locations. And then I just simply went back very quickly and took screenshots of all of them so that I could enter the code in the location. So very quickly, I activated all 6 of these bottles, and now I'll go back very slowly and take screenshots of all of them. Now you will have to enter this code in the right order, so it's good just to try to get this right the first time. So I'm going to step out of the room here. We're going to go back in. The first one will be located on this bar to the left. That's going to be the second one there. Now the third one is going to be right here. The fourth one's going to be upstairs. And then you can get the 5th and 6th codes as well. So as you can see, we got 1, 2, then we got 3 over here. That one's going to be 6 down in that corner. And then 4 is upstairs. So very quickly, just going to take screenshots of all of these bottles. Now the codes are going to be different for you guys and every time you play the game. So just take quick screenshots of all 6 bottles, and I'll show you guys where you can get the code to pop up so that you can enter it in. So now that you have all 6 bottles, you'll work your way back towards the castle, but you want to stop here and get melee macchiato on the way. You will need this in order to actually enter in the solution to the puzzle. Now if we come down here in towards the quick revive room, we can go and actually get this step done. So follow my path and I'll show you guys where you can enter in this code. Now down here, there's going to be a false wall you can break open using the melee macchiato. And once you do this, you can actually go and start entering in the code. So simply just save a zombie and you can get all of these. So just make sure that you use the melee macchiato attack so that the wall actually breaks and it will reveal the panel for you to enter in the code. Now at this point, I just took a look at the screenshots that I had, and you want to make sure that you use the bottles in the proper order, or that you line up the symbols in the proper order, 1 through 6. Now once you guys have completed the code, you will be able to go on to the next step. Now after you've done this, this will open up another portion of the wall, and there will be a book, but it won't have any pages on it. So from here, what we can do is we can go and find all 4 pages that we need in order to actually fill up this book. Now these pages can all be found in the exact same room in the stamina up section. So we're going to come back up these stairs back where stamina up is. Now these pages will only spawn one at a time, so that means when you won't find the second one until you found the first. So you want to take a look in all of the different corners of the map because they have a chance at spawning at just about any of the corners in this room. So what I usually do is I just sort of run around holding square along all of these different walls until they have been picked up. Now there is a chance that one can spawn on the couch, and there's a chance that one can spawn over here on these TVs as well. So just about any corner of this section, there's a chance that these pages can spawn. So like I said, they'll only spawn one by one, so you will have to check the same spots multiple times. Once you guys get all 4 pages, you can bring them back into this room. Take another screenshot of these symbols here next, because you will need them in order to complete the next portion of the Easter egg. I did end up going into a duo game, but just so I could show you guys, if you are playing with a teammate, you can have the share screen up as another teammate runs around to the bottles, showing you guys the symbols and it just makes it a lot easier to get this section done. So once you guys have all 4 pages, just simply bring them over to the book. I did end up getting a different combination, so I came over here and took a screenshot of that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to read the code from top left, and then top right, bottom right. Now there's going to be 6 different traps around the map, meaning that you'll have to go around and check the symbols on each one until you found the proper one in the proper order. So depending on which code you guys got, you'll have to cross-reference the book to the trap and then go ahead and find the proper one. So I'm going to show you guys all 6 of the locations. There's one here. There was already 2 that we passed. So if we come back this way, those are the first 2 that can be found. Now, if we make our way back from the area of the book, you're going to see that one trap there. Come back around, there's going to be a second trap here in the quick revive room. Now, there are 6 traps in total, so it may take quite a while looking around, so you will most likely want to save a zombie for this. Now, when you come in here, there will be more of these traps, which you can look at the symbols on. So come down here through the Juggernaut room. There's going to be one trap here in the center, one on the left, one on the right, and then one off to the far left as well. So as we come down here, I'm just going to check all of the symbols. Now this is going to be different for you, but I just want to show you guys where all of the trap locations are so that you can check all of your symbols. Now once you have found the right one, you can end the round in order to get more zombies to spawn. And then once you are ready, you will want to activate this trap. Now, once you activate the trap in the proper order, you'll have to stand in this area while taking out zombies. Now, you'll know that you have the right trap because you will start to see souls coming out of the zombies and charge up the surrounding area. So as you can see here, we're taking kills out, and you can see that there's these little souls kind of zapping around. That's how you know that you're in the right trap. Now, as you guys are in this trap, make sure to stay in this ring, because if you don't, it will not count. Now, it will disappear when you have gotten enough elimination, so make sure you only start the trap when there's enough zombies around. Come down here and double check the book to make sure that the symbol is gone. Now, so long as the symbol is gone, you guys can move on to the next one, but just remember, guys, it's top left, and then top right, bottom right in order to get the right combination. So we'll very quickly head back to the book, and you'll see that the first symbol has disappeared. So you're going to want to go around to all of these different traps, and like I said, it's going to be different for you, so I can't really show you the exact route to take, but you'll have to go and check each symbol and line it up with the proper trap. But as you can see here, guys, the first symbol is gone, and we're just going to go move on to the next 3. So the next one for us was located just next to the book room. We had already passed over this one, but it was just the right time to activate it after doing that one first. And when we come back here to check the book, you'll notice that the second symbol is now gone. So we're going to go and work on the next 2 symbols now, and I'll catch up with you guys once you guys have all 4 symbols done. So remember, if you're having trouble, that you can check the traps which are located outside. Also, if you fail, you'll have more attempts to complete it. It's just that you may have to end the round because there will not be enough zombies left. So you want to try to get this done as quickly as you can to move on to the next couple of steps. So check this traps outside. There's going to be one to the left and one to the right, so don't miss it. In case maybe you're missing one, there's still another trap out here to the right. So continue on with your combination, and this is the only trap I have not showed you guys the location of. It's going to be off to the far right. So what you want to do, if this is part of your combination, is activate this trap and just follow the same process. Now, once you have this done, you can start with the rituals. Now you're going to have to do 4 rituals, 1 for each sword. So what you can now do is come back into the center room where there's going to be these different mirrors located around the map. Now what you'll do is you're going to shoot these mirrors and spin them around until eventually the beam has reached this room here. Now, there's going to be multiple different mirrors which have to be spun around, and once it's done correctly, it will reveal a secret amulet. Now, each ritual you will do will require the corresponding sword to open. So because we're doing the light sword or the lion sword, you will want to pick up that lion sword because it's the only way that you can pick up the loot or the incantation. So once you have this amulet, you can go and set it down here and start up this small ritual. Now you can save a zombie during this if you want to, because every time you start a ritual, it's going to spawn special zombies in. So if you're playing with a teammate, you can have the teammate go off to a separate room, just take out the special zombies, and eventually you're going to take out the zombies in this area, fill up the souls, and you will be able to unlock this chest. Now, once you've done this, you can go and deposit the sword back because you will need to switch to another sword for the next ritual. We're going to go and do the fire ritual next, so go ahead and pick up the fire sword, and I'll show you guys how you can get started on this next ritual. But as you can see here, you will have a chest spawn. Just use the lion sword to break that open, and you will get the first incantation. Now what you'll have to do is swap out the light sword for the fire sword, and you can either use the fire sword special ability or Molotovs. But what you'll have to do is come up here on top of this castle, and there's going to be 3 different fires you have to light in order to get the next ritual done. So this one, you'll come up here and you either throw a Molotov or use the special attack on this fire here. The second one will be located in the middle above this castle, and the third one's going to be located here on the far left. Once you've lit all 3 of these fires, what you're going to do is get a special item to drop, and you will use this item to start the next ritual. So as you guys can see here, after all 3 fires are lit, there's going to be a special zombie that spawns in, just like a normal boss zombie, and as soon as you take him out, you're going to get this ankh. Once you have the ankh, you can begin the next ritual. So what you'll do is you'll drop down here below this castle, and just to the left, there's going to be another ritual you can do. Now you will need the fire sword in order to unlock this chest that will open, or that will drop after this. So I just had my teammate do this, we saved a zombie, and I went off to the other room. Now, once you've done this, go back and deposit the sword. This time we're going to go and pick up the void one, or the one with the crow, or the bird on the knight's shoulder. Now, in order to start this one, it's a little bit tricky, but you want to have the sword on you so that you can open up the ritual site after you are ready. Now, if you save a zombie, you can go and get this done. So what you'll do is you'll take the void sword, you want to head to the pack-a-punch room, and there's going to be a slide in the back. Now, once you've gone down the slide, you want to take a look. At the very end of the slide, there's going to be a secret crow that you have to fire your weapon on. Once you do this, it will allow you guys to get the next ritual item. So we're going to head down the slide here, and then be very careful when you do. On the very right side, don't get distracted. There's going to be a bird you have to shoot right here. So be sure to shoot it, and then when you get out of the tunnel, you will see the bird begin to fly around in the sky. Now, once you take out this bird, it will drop the next part. So be careful and be sure to look at the bird while it's dropping the item so you can find out where it is. Now, anybody on your team, you can pick up this item, and once you do, you can go on to the next ritual. So this will drop the crow's part, and what we're going to do is come down here into this dungeon or the cellar, and we can start up the next ritual that will spawn right here. So just as the same as the other ones, we just want to take out zombies in the area, and then you'll use the void sword to open up the secret chest. Now, I went to the other room so that we could make sure to save a zombie, and then we got this done. Now, as soon as it's ready, go ahead and break open the chest, and you'll unlock access to the void incantation. Now, from here, you're going to want to go and grab the final sword. This is going to be the lightning sword, and we can go and do the final ritual. So once you have gotten the lightning sword, you want to come out here to the stables on the far right side of the map. Once you get over here, there will be a secret horseshoe you have to get. Now, the only way to get it is by firing your weapon at this location here, and the horseshoe will drop. Now, once you have the horseshoe, you want to go and enter into the cannon. Once you enter into the cannon with the horseshoe, it will throw the horseshoe somewhere around this general area, and you'll have to pick it back up. This will actually upgrade the horseshoe so that you can then get on to the next step. So very quickly, I'm just going to head to the cannon. When you use it to send you across the map, the horseshoe will fly out of your inventory, and you'll have to pick it back up. However, once you do, you'll be able to use it to access the last ritual. So it spawns randomly each time it gets thrown out, but I'll show you guys where I was able to find mine. So you'll notice now it says that it's the Pegasus horseshoe, and what you'll do now is just bring it to this location, and I'll show you guys where you can start the last ritual. So this time the ritual will be located at the spawn. You're going to have to come here and wait for the site to appear, and just follow the same process once sitting down the horseshoe. Now, once you've done this, you will have access to all of the incantations on the map, and what you'll have to do is come back here into the castle. Now, there's going to be a wall here which will now have the 4 incantations on it, and it will show you guys the order which you have to follow. So take a screenshot of this as well, and line up the proper element to the incantation which is here and shown. So then once you have that screenshot, you're going to go back to the room with the knights on it. Now, it might seem complicated at first, but it is extremely simple to get this next step done. So what you'll do is you'll come back here to the room with all 4 knights in it, and what you want to do is just simply take a look at the screenshot and see whichever one is labeled number 1. So you can see here I have the raven, and it is the purple element. That's going to be the first one. So now all you have to do is come up to the knight, which has the raven, and you're going to use the purple incantation on that knight. So the incantation will spawn in the same room as you. What you'll do is you'll activate the incantation on the knight, and then as soon as you're done activating the incantation, you want to go and inspect your sword. Now what this will do is pay respects to the statue, and you'll know that you've completed it when the statue begins to glow gold. Now, depending on which order that you guys got, you're going to have to do this to all 4 of the statues. Use the sword and the incantation in the same order that is shown. Now, if you fail, you'll have more attempts, but that is the proper way to do it. Just take another look at your screenshot and move on to the next statue. So all the incantations should spawn in this room, so you won't have to go too far, and you can just simply get this done very quickly. Now, once you guys have completed all 4 statues, there will be an orb, or the guardian orb will spawn from the center of the room. Now, what you'll have to do is you're going to bring this guardian orb to 4 different locations around the map using the designated swords. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by using the light sword. You can pick this up and begin starting this in the exact same room that we're in now. So we have the light sword on us, it's the yellow one. We're going to go upstairs, and there will be a section which we can use to socket in the guardian orb. Now, in order to complete this section, you'll have to get kills with the light sword in these blue orbs that spawn up. Now, you will have to do this quite a few times until the guardian orb is charged up, and special zombies will spawn just for you to complete this. So you can save a zombie and have the other player in a separate room if you want to save a zombie and get it done that way. Now, once you start this, you'll run around the room by getting kills within these orbs, and you'll notice that each time you do, the souls will be sent back to the guardian orb. You'll have to do this for quite a while, and eventually the ritual will end, and you can go back to the guardian orb and pick it up. Now, once you've done this, once you've picked up the guardian orb, you can then go and pick up the flame sword, as we're going to move on to the next ritual site. So you can then pick up the guardian orb, and we're going to head back, we're going to deposit the light sword, and we're going to pick up the flame sword so that we can go and do the next section of the puzzle. So head outside of the castle walls, back past towards Juggernaut. We're going to activate the sword, which is required for the fire. Now, this one's very easy to do. You just need to do the same thing. It kills in the area with the fire sword. Now, it helps if you use either the incantation or the special attack in order to charge up these sections, as that is how you're going to get these souls to spawn. So what you'll do is deposit that guardian orb in that section, have the player with the fire sword get the kills in that area, and then simply pick up the guardian orb again. Just keep in mind to use either the incantation or the special attack in order to get those orbs to spawn and charge up the guardian orb. Now, once you're done with the fire sword ritual, you can go back to the knight and pick up the lightning sword, as you can see I have here. Once you have the guardian orb and the lightning sword, come to the spawn, and you're going to drop off the guardian orb in this section. You're going to do the same thing here, but in order to charge this up, you have to either use the incantation, which will spawn right next to the orb, or the special attack with the sword in order to get the souls to spawn. Now, this is the only way to get the souls to spawn, so you want to make sure to either charge that up or just simply continue to use the incantation. And as you can see there, once you've done this, you can then pick up the guardian orb. Now, after doing this, you can go back to the knight and drop the sword off for the final sword. We're going to go pick up the void sword now, and we're going to have to do the final ritual with this. And it's going to be located down near the pack-a-punch machine, so take the void sword and the guardian orb and head down to the room with the bottle puzzle. Now, from here, what you can do is simply put in the guardian orb, and it's going to be the same as the one before. You have to use either the incantation or the special attack in order to charge this one up. So that's how you're going to charge this guardian orb, to start up the ritual and then begin charging it. Now that you've done this, you can go back into the main room where you found the code for the incantations. Now when you do this, you can deposit the guardian orb to unlock this door. Once you're inside this room, you will have to pick up a part. Bring this part back to the spawn, and you will then be able to go into the boss fight. Now, this boss fight is a bit difficult, but it's not as crazy as the other ones. However, there is going to be points in time where you're not really going to have too much cover. Now, I highly suggest using explosive weapons for the boss fight, whether it be the pistols or even an RPG. Now, also keep in mind that you can use whichever sword you like, so determine which sword you want to use, which special attack you want to use before going in there, and then you can go ahead and start up the boss whenever you like. Now you have the vial ready. You're going to have to bring it back to the spawn. And on this statue, you will be able to deposit it and start up the Easter egg boss fight whenever you like. So here's some quick gameplay of the boss fight. Now I was using a shotgun and an AS Val, which really wasn't the best combo, but I was able to get through it. Now you'll have access to different incantations. The only thing is though, is that after each wave, there's going to be 3 different waves. Once you get his health down about 30%, it will go to a wave where you can't do any damage, and it's just going to spawn zombies that you have to survive against. However, once this boss is ready to come back, the combat area will be much smaller. The ring of lava around the map will begin to close in on you, and so it's going to be harder and harder to stay alive as the boss becomes more aggressive. Now, there are a bunch of different crit spots that you can hit to take his armor off and end up doing more damage. That definitely helps quite a bit with those explosives. But that's about it for this one, guys. Hopefully this guide does help you out, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.